Good morning, fifth and sixth graders. So today we are going to continue with finding evidence in a passage to answer a question, but then going one step further to writing out the answer to the question instead of just showing the evidence like we've been doing. So if you were taking a test and it asked you, using evidence from the story, what did the main character feel like at the beginning of the story? And so then you would find your evidence and then write out an answer. And so that's what we're going to work on this week. So start here. Okay, so the next step to answer open-ended questions about a reading passage. So you've restated the question. So that's the biggest thing is to restate the question. You've searched for evidence and bringing it all together, okay? So this goes back to the very first story that we read last Monday. It's about Cameron. So Cameron was a little scared, but he had been training for months. Today was the first time he would attempt to climb a mountain that was over 8,000 feet above sea level. He was nervous, but it was time. He strapped on all of the gear that his dad had bought for him, tucked his food and water bottle into his backpack, and began to walk towards the mountain alone. So this student thinks that Cameron is brave. They want to describe Cameron as brave. So they found the two pieces of evidence that are highlighted to describe how Cameron is brave, okay? So restate the question, using the answer brave, and use a sentence. Give evidence and give evidence. So there's two reasons, so you're going to do both, okay? So for example, So restate the question. I would describe Cameron as brave. And then you begin a sentence. Cameron is brave because he was going to climb a mountain that was over 8,000 feet above sea level. Another reason that Cameron was brave is because he began to walk towards the mountain alone. Okay. We'll go back here. So these are some of the stems that you can use to go before. So the author said, for example, page whatever says, the text also says, according to the text, paragraph 3 says, I know this because the illustration shows. So let's go back to this. So I would describe Cameron as brave. The first paragraph says that Cameron climbed a mountain that was over 8,000 feet above sea level. And then choose another one here, sorry. The text also says he walked towards the mountain alone. So those are just some starters to get you going on how you could kind of transition into your evidence. Okay, so today then, we are going to use story, The Big Game. Okay, so I am so nervous for the game tonight, Dad, said Jackson as he came into the kitchen for breakfast. This evening will be the biggest game of his basketball career, the championship game of the high school sectionals. If they can pull off this win, his team will make school history. His school had never won a sectional trophy, and Jackson was feeling the pressure. As Jackson and his dad ate breakfast, his dad tried to ease his nerves by reminding him of when he first started playing. They laughed at how terrible he had been in the beginning. Jackson always liked basketball, but he wasn't the best player on the team. His dad, who loved basketball and helped coach, told Jackson repeatedly that he was overthinking everything. One day, after a frustrated practice, his dad pointed out that he couldn't even make a simple layup without thinking about every move. Jackson's parents wanted him to be more comfortable, so they bought a basketball goal for the backyard. Jackson was annoyed that his dad was criticizing him and trying to force him to practice at home. One afternoon, his dad took the ball away and made him work on his farm. His dad would make him dribble, 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 and attempt a layup, all without even using a ball. It helped him stop overthinking the moves. Finally, he could lift his right arm and right leg together while shooting the imaginary ball. Finally, his dad allowed him to use the ball to see if he could relax and make a layup. On his first attempt, he made it. When he went to practice the following week, his coach commented on the progress that he'd made. His coach told him, "It seems like you've stopped thinking so much about being perfect and just had fun. Keep it up, Jackson." As Jackson and his dad sat at the breakfast table, laughing about how terrible he had been when he was just 8 years old, he suddenly felt at peace. Jackson thanked his dad for reminding him of the comment his coach had said so many years ago. Then he told his dad, "I think I need to remind myself to just play ball and have fun." So, the question is, how did Jackson feel about the big game? About the sectional game. Okay, so one answer is that he felt anxious about the sectional game, and one is that he felt relaxed. Okay, so anxious. We're going to first find evidence in the story that shows that he is anxious. Okay, so right away, the very first sentence, "I am so nervous for the game tonight, Dad." So right away, that's telling us that he's nervous. Okay, so his school had never won a sectional trophy, and Jackson was feeling the pressure. He's nervous, he's anxious, he's under a lot of pressure. Okay. Here it even says, as Jackson and his dad ate breakfast, his dad tried to ease his nerves. So he has a lot of nerves by reminding him of when they first started playing. So then this goes on to just tell the story about before this time. So, okay. Then the other is he felt relaxed about the sectional game. So, this last paragraph down here. As Jackson and his dad sat at the breakfast table laughing about how terrible he had been when he was just 8 years old, he suddenly felt at peace. He felt at peace. Instead of being all worked up, he was feeling peaceful. Jackson thanked his dad for reminding him of the comment his coach had said so many years ago. Then he told his dad, "I think I need to remind myself to just play ball and have fun." So just having fun, not worrying so much about winning. And that is a huge one. Okay. So then if we go here, I think I need to remind myself to just play ball and have fun. We said it was feeling relaxed and suddenly feeling at peace. I'm so nervous for the game tonight. He's feeling anxious and feeling the pressure. Okay, so we have the evidence that we could use. So now we're going to go and actually put it into a sentence in an answer. How did Jackson feel about the sectional game? So remember, the first step is to restate the question. So Jackson felt blank about the sectional game. Okay, and then you put in your answer. So I chose to do nervous. You could do relaxed if you want, but I chose to do nervous. So Jackson felt nervous about the sectional game. I restated the question and answered it. Okay, so then I need to use a sentence starter. I'm going to use the text tells us, and so that Jackson was feeling the pressure. Okay, the author also states that Jackson was so nervous for the game tonight. Okay, I'm gonna say Jackson tells his dad I'm so nervous for the game tonight. Okay, that's it, straight out of it. So rather than just how did Jackson feel about the sectional game? Nervous. Okay, this goes into, it expands on it. It tells us exactly what the question that's being asked is. I know I can read this answer. Jackson felt nervous about the sectional game. That the question, without me looking at it, is how did Jackson feel about the game? Okay, if you just answer nervous, that could be so many questions being asked. And then you have evidence straight from the story that was read, so I know that you read the passage, you understand it. Okay? So on Wednesday, we will do this again with balloons, beauty, or pollution. Okay, so have a good day.